Okay, one of my favorite things to do is to make unique videos, even if they're not extremely pretty videos, to be informative, right? So I like to, in a nutshell, review the 8 primary Fujifilm cameras, and these are those. Not by someone that actually, rented them and used them for a day or two and then made a half-ass conclusion based upon a rented or borrowed camera, but someone that actually owns the 8 primary Fujifilm cameras and actually shot the piss out of all 8 of them. So here we have both GFX cameras in the back, GFX 50S on the back far right over here. Here we go. GFX 50R, XH1, XT3, XT2, X100F, the brand new XT30, and the X Pro 2. Which camera currently here in the first week of May 2019 is a best buy? That's actually a tough choice. Right now you can get a used XT2 for about $670. Up until recently, you could have got a new XH1 with a grip for $1,000, I believe. The body price now is back up to $1,300. XT3, excuse me, is currently in the $1,500 range. Of course, brand new camera from Fujifilm. Has been out for a few months, but essentially a new camera, and the brand new $900 Fujifilm XT3. That's for body only. It has the same sensor and image processing engine as the XT3, also has touchscreen. What it lacks, of course, is the ability for a vertical grip, and it does not have dual card slot redundancy, so I would not consider it a camera that you would show up on a working paid gig to shoot, since there is no redundancy. And redundancy, of course, is God, but it's half the price. So same image processing engine, same sensor, BSI, 26 megapixel, blazing fast autofocus. It is absolutely unquestionably the best compact camera that has ever come down the block. Extremely tiny, $900. There is nothing lacking for hardcore sports action or wildlife with this camera. I mean, it is literally the definition of pocket dynamite. The X Pro 3 is going to be announced sometime later this year. It's like, well, what's the X Pro 3 going to be? Well, I don't know, but I can certainly speculate it's going to be most of everything that the XT3 has in it, as far as image processor and image processing engine, autofocus speed, touchscreen, and so on and so forth. I'm assuming. I'm only guessing. The X Pro 2, of course, is a digital rangefinder camera. We have actually in the exact same arena the X100F, the magic of the X100F, because, well, it's got a fixed lens, 35mm field of view equivalent. Yes, that's true, but the X100F is the true street stalking, I guess that's not the correct appropriate term. People would want me to say street stalking camera. The perfect street sweeper camera. Has a leaf shutter, which is magical. If you don't know the magic of leaf shutter, the fact that you use any damn flash made in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and it'll still sync. Not talking about high-speed sync. We're talking about hypersync here. You don't need to worry about HSS, which is pulse lighting. It also has a built-in, actual physical built-in ND filter, which you could turn on and off, that actually drops in front of the sensor. So that's wonderful. The X100F is actually an incredible camera. Both GFX cameras, the cameras that have actually literally waited nearly 20 years for not only medium format digital, but affordable medium format. So not only are they the fastest medium format cameras out there, they're also the least expensive. They're made in Japan. They're the fastest medium format cameras, far and away above anybody else, but they're also the cheapest. It's kind of like a company came out with a competition for a Lamborghini, and it's even better than a Lamborghini, but costs as much as a Volkswagen. You know, stuff like that doesn't actually happen anywhere in the world. People seem to not be able to realize what medium format GFX cameras are relative to everything else that's out there, because that just doesn't happen. Well, a company came out today, and it's called the Zeus. It looks like a Lamborghini, except it's a lot faster, and it's made better, and my light just went out. Yeah, this is why you need to recharge your LED lights. And it's a lot faster, but it's also priced as much as a Volkswagen. So stuff like that definitely does not happen. XH1, so actually it's a tough price to call. I mean, do you want the DSLR ergos of the XH1? Or do you want actually the tried and true XT2 for like $680 used, which is what they're going for, or $1,500 for the XT3? Like I said, we've already mentioned the distinction between the XT3 and the XT30. My favorite digital camera of all time period, and that's completely subjective because I've waited 10 years for it, is this camera right back here, the GFX 50R. Yes, I actually have the mic holes covered up with gaffer's tape because I'm never going to use this camera for video, and I don't want those exposed to the elements. Not that it's an issue, but you know, just wanted to cover those up. So that is my favorite digital camera of all time. I've always wanted a compact rangefinder style medium format camera, and my God, it's only $4,500. I have all 8 current GFX lenses. I have every X series lens made, except for the 18mm, which I absolutely do not like at all. I actually love the X Pro 2. Now, I do wear glasses. Of course, this is a digital rangefinder camera. It takes all the X series lenses of the XT2, XT3, and XH1. The viewfinder's a bit small for me. I mean, there's just no denying that. But I mean, it's not too small. But it is high quality Japanese-made camera. The actual people say, why does the X Pro 2 cost so much money? The reason why is this: the hybrid viewfinder in here. It's not only laborious and expensive to construct, but also to manufacture. That is the primary reason why the X Pro 2 cameras and the X100F, which also has a hybrid viewfinder in the camera, are expensive. But expensive compared to what, for God's sakes, you know? Compared to what, I think is going to be my motto. So that's it. Yeah, $1,500 for an XT3. You know, $900 for an XT30, $680 for a used XT2. The price is back up on the XH1. I mean, the XH1 there with a grip was just so stupid cheap for many months there, like $1,000 with a grip. I mean, are you kidding? And the only reason people complained about the XH1 had nothing to do with the XH1. It had to do with the fact that it came out so close to the introduction of the faster XT3. But I mean, the XH1 still has several advantages over that of the XT3, that including the leaf spring shutter release, the 5-point spring suspension on the shutter mech. It is extremely stealthy. It's actually a perfect camera for indoor events, and also specifically too for wedding ceremonies. So it has IBIS. It's currently the only Fujifilm camera that does have IBIS. The next Fujifilm IBIS camera, of course, is the GFX 100, the 100 megapixel backside illuminated camera with the IMX 141 sensor in it, and that will be coming out in May, or the end of May this month, or in June. I think it's actually going to drop in June so far as when it's going to become available for retail sale. Absolutely love GFX cameras. They're absolutely incredible. That, and by the way, I rated every camera in my book. And by the way, it's in a link below. Download it. I'm working on the second edition of Fujifilm Tricks and Tips for Fujifilm cameras. I'm working hard on the second edition. It's a free download, so check out that link below on Fujifilm Tricks and Tips. But actually, a 10 out of 10 on value and overall score. I only awarded that to the XT3, the GFX 50R, and this camera, the XT30. So people say, oh, you're just a total Fujifilm fanboy. So I know when I did the review, people will be like, oh, you're just praising another Fujifilm camera. It's like, well, I am, but I mean, I've been critical when Fujifilm deserved criticism, but I did rate the XT30. One of only 3 cameras of the 8 primaries as having a perfect 10 score overall and a perfect 10 value score. People say, well, it's only got 1 card slot. You know, you've been talking about one. Yeah, that's true. I never said that the XT30 was the camera that you would take to a professional paid gig where you need backup redundancy, and redundancy is God. I've said that a million times in a million different videos. But I mean, it's half the price of the XT3. Essentially so, anyway. Not exactly half the price, but essentially half the price. If you include the grip, it's half the price. So you don't have that vertical grip option, and you don't have dual card slot redundancy, but I mean, it's blasting ass fast. There's nothing to complain about on the XT30. Really is nothing to complain about. People say, well, it doesn't have this. Well, yeah, well, it's half the price of an XT3. Yeah, but it doesn't have that. Well, yeah, but it's half the price of an XT3. Still same sensor, image processing engine, blasting fast. The touch screen and the touch to autofocus point selection on the XT30 are incredible. Even though the X Pro 3, I don't know when the X Pro 3 is going to come out. I know it's going to be introduced or announced sometime this year. When it comes out, I don't know. But there's just no chance I'm going to get rid of the X Pro 2. There's just not a chance of it. So anyway, I hope you like this video. Please download the free Fujifilm tricks and tips book in the link below. I'm working on the second edition right now. I'm going to go out now and shoot because I think they think, excuse me, that I sit behind this desk all the time. And in fact, I don't. So I'm heading out the door. I hope you do the same. Catch you later. Bye.